What's going on, guys? Apathetic here, and today I'm going to talk to you about Jotunn, whatever, the exotic fusion rifle, and if it's worth using in PvP. So make sure you drop a like if you enjoy, and we're just going to jump right into this one, guys. So this exotic is obtained by doing powerful frames in the Bergusia Forge, and it's just a random drop, but it seems from Reddit like the drop rate is pretty high, so you can go in pretty confident knowing that out of the 2 frames you get per week per character, you're gonna get it. That being said, somehow it took me forever to get it, but I finally got it. So jumping into what perk makes this weapon so exotic, that perk is charge shot. So hold to charge up a tracking shot that explodes and burns on impact, and basically leaves fire that does burn damage if your enemy stands in it. All right, guys, so now you know where to get this weapon, what its exotic perk is. Now let's jump right into, is this thing worth using in PvP? Hell no. Guys, honestly, this weapon has been one of the most frustrating reviews of a weapon I've done, and it's because of its exotic perk. Now let me explain. On one hand, this weapon has what I would call a wow factor. What I mean by that is there were a couple of times where I shot this weapon, and because of the tracking and the distance the projectile traveled, I was amazed that I got a kill. This weapon's projectile travels basically in a straight line with some moderate tracking, so it'll curve a little bit, which again makes for some cool plays. But what I noticed was against better players, or players that were focusing on me, looking right at me, and we were kind of trading shots back and forth, they are able to dodge my projectile very easily. And I found that when it came to shooting people in the air, this weapon would miss probably 80% of the time. And I'm gonna get into in just a second about why that is. Now let's talk about the other side of the wow factor with this weapon, and that's, wow, how did I not hit that player? Guys, this weapon is so inconsistent at close range. At closer ranges, I felt it was very hard to land shots with this weapon, and I think that's in part due to the tracking. I found that at close ranges, this weapon would curve slightly around the target, or the way it would curve, the projectile would impact a wall or the floor before hitting my intended target. Now, as far as this weapon's explosion and burn damage, I found it to basically be a non-factor. Not once playing with this weapon did I have someone die from the fire, since the burn damage is so low and the enemies would move out of it before I could do any real damage. It would just be burning, they take maybe for 8 or something twice and they'd be gone. Basically no damage done. And because of everything I mentioned, I found myself missing my shotgun a lot. I felt very helpless against people aping with their shotties, because I would try to counter with exotic fusion and would simply miss at closer ranges. And that's before you get into other classes like hunters or titans. Titans who were skating at me, they were just going so fast that the projectile would literally speed past them and curve around them. And as for hunters, as they're jumping in the air as hunters tend to do, the projectile could not curve hard enough to really hit them most of the time. Now, to sum this weapon up, guys, can it be fun to use? Of course. Again, you can definitely make some cool plays using this weapon, but because of how the meta is shaped right now, with how fast your enemies can move, it just makes this weapon feel less consistent than it's worth to keep using it, and you'll find yourself in a lot of situations where this weapon simply won't perform due to its ineffectiveness at close range, ineffectiveness when your enemy is jumping, ineffectiveness when they're looking at you and they can kind of try to dodge it and just like pop in and out of walls. There's just a lot of situations where this weapon isn't effective. But let me know in the comments below if you've gotten this weapon. I want to hear what you guys' thoughts are on it. Not gonna lie, I saw some clips online. I was so hyped. I was like, I gotta get this weapon. Last week I was grinding for it, didn't get it. This week I was grinding for it, finally got it. And I have to tell you guys, I'm so disappointed in this weapon. I really thought it was going to be good. I don't know why. I didn't really go and look at too many reviews. I kind of just saw a couple clips and used that to fuel my hype, but I was misled. So with that, guys, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoy, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Perfect.